welcome to Ed America TV. My name is Hasna, one of the guests here in Ed America. For those of you just joining us for the first time, Ed America is the U.S. Embassy's American Center, and our mission is to provide a space for young Indonesians to learn about the United States. We have temporarily moved to digital platforms so you can enjoy our events from the comfort of your own home. On this event, we'll be having intensive academic writing, master the basics with top professors. But before we begin, we have a social media quiz for the audience, and the question for today is, true or false, academic writing must be complex and requires the use of long sentences and complicated vocabulary. You might type in your answer at any time during the session. The lucky one who can guess the answer correctly will get a live shout-out from us by the end of this event. Don't forget to do that because we really like to get everyone actively involved in this event. Other than that, don't forget to take a selfie and take at America's Instagram account. And now, without further ado, allow me to invite our facilitator for today's event, the Professor of Theology and Sociology Religion at Satya Wacana Christian University, Pak Isaac Y.M. Latu, PhD. The floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Hasna, for introduction. So I will try to share my screen. Okay, so this is part two of our intensive writing class, actually, or workshop, and it's very basic. And today I will, since I'm in Papua right now, I just come back from Wamena. Last time I was in Seram Island, in the in the remote area of Seram. Now I'm in Jayapura after come back from Wamena. And in Wamena, people talk to me about their greetings, and it is wa wa wa. So that's wa 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 means like hi apa kabar or how are you doing, or it also means like like blessings for all of us. So again, wa wa wa. So I would like to share a couple of things today with you, and it will start with punctuation, and then we go to effective sentence, paragraph, and others. But I will focus more on effective sentence and paragraph. Okay. So so I would probably mention that I'm not in English department uh, program, or I'm not English professor. So what I'm going to share is actually my experience, how I learn English, but also how I put my thought in sorry in writing. So like probably many of you, you are not from English department, and welcome. We are at the same boat here. So I will probably share my experience, and if you are uh, from English department, you can have your own even better than I do. So pay attention when you write something. Pay attention on punctuation, because small things like comma can make difference in many ways. So you have to be careful about on that. So also pay attention on many unnecessary commas, and this is also my experience when I start write my papers in graduate levels, and sometimes put comma unnecessarily, and we have to pay attention on that very carefully. It's small, but it can mislead you. So also things like semicolon or colon in Bahasa Indonesia, we don't use these two things a lot, but in English, we use that like semicolon, use that when you want to like put things in order, like when you quote something and you have to put some quotation in order, we use semicolon. And colon is, according to my experience, I use colon in order to give explanation on something. So I will stop. I use this colon and like explanation. So this is my experience. And also the apostrophe, the small things like apostrophe needs to be really careful. And also question marks. Sometimes when uh, I read students from undergrad to even PhD program, sometimes they use question mark, but also put dots on that or comma on that. So pay attention on that and other marks as well. I just mentioned it, then I will go to effective sentence. What is actually effective sentence? I will start with pay attention on subject, predicate, and object when you write. Because if you don't really pay attention on these very basic elements in in your writings, and it will ruin the whole process of your writing. Even though your brain is really smart and you have like really bright thought, but when you don't really pay attention on how you put subject, predicate, and object in your sentence, then sometimes when I brainstorming, so I'm trying to like brainstorm my ideas, write without stop. Then sometimes I miss my subject. So that's why I have to come back again, edit again, and make sure that I have subject in my sentence. So I will share with you strategy for effective sentence. And I have four C's strategy for clarity in your um, writings. And I will start with first. The first C is cut. Cut wordiness. Uh, Saying something only once and in the best possible place. So like in this case, the red one is is incorrect instance, and then the green one is correct example. So like I I I put it like this: like the Noto Hamijoyo library contains many rare books. The books uh, the books in the library are carefully preserved. The library also houses manuscript collection. So you says says many things in this sentence, then you don't really focus. You use a lot of word without really focus on the meaning. So I probably gonna revise it like this. Noto Hamijoyo Library carefully preserves many rare books and manuscripts. Rather than say that the Noto Hamijoyo Library contains many rare books, the books in the library are carefully preserved. The library also houses manuscript collection. Sometimes we put it like this, but then to make your sentence effective, you're probably gonna go like this. So Noto Amijo library, carefully preserved. This is already carefully preserved. Many rare books from here, and manuscript right here. So you save. So you make your sentence effective, short, but also you get rid of unnecessary words in the sentence. Cut formulaic process, replace wordy phrases with shorter or more direct expression. Like this, sometimes we say like this, like at the present time, but in writing, we just go and say now instead of saying at the present time. Sometimes we also say that due to the fact that, but in affective sentence, just say because. You save some words here. You just put it in one word rather than go one, two, three, four, five words. So put your sentence like this, like this. Um, Last but not least, just say finally in your sentence. When you say that, when you express your idea orally, probably you can say last but not least, due to the fact that. But when you put it into sentence, you have to put it effective like this in order to help your reader follow your idea. Then cut references to you in to your intention. Sorry, eliminate your ownness. So like this, I intend to prove that in when you write, but instead of say that I intend to prove that, say that this article proves that. You might find that in some academic word. Some editor might accept that, but most of the time, uh, editor will say that put it into uh, structure like this. So you don't really put you as a focus, but the data is a focus. What you want to say is a focus. Like this, I have demonstrated, but I will say that the data demonstrated. And the second C, check for action. Who's doing what? So like to do something, the subject means um, the doers is very important here in the second C. Like this. So who's doing what as a subject and verb? Like focus on the doer. The mayor's approval of the new law, blah 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 blah. But then put it like this: the mayor, sorry, in the mayor approved the new law, rather than say that the mayor approval of new law, but say that uh, let me put it, sorry, I'm sorry for my. So the mayor approved the new law, rather than say that the mayor approval of the new law, blah 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 blah. So the mayor, because the mayor is the doers in this case, so pay attention on the mayor. So scrutinize as well. Oh, scrutinize sentence begins with there or. We write this kind of sentence like this. There was discussion of interreligious conflict by religious leaders. But rather than say that there was a discussion of interreligious conflict, there is a discussion of interreligious conflict by religious leader. You say that the religious leaders discuss the interreligious conflict. So get rid of there was something but put like focus on the the doers here. Avoid unnecessary passive voice construction. Means wordy means you use unnecessary words, too much words. You probably need only express in short words, short sentence, but because it's wordy, then you have to put many words into that. So in effective sentence, we will get rid of the wordiness of the sentence. So rather than say that the open violence will be discussed broadly by community, you say that the community will discuss the open violence broadly. So it is the community that discuss. So not you won't start with the open violence first, but this is a community. So to avoid the passive voice. My friends who study in British country say that they use uh, passive voice in many academic writings, but in United States of America, um, according to my experience as a PhD student there, uh, but also as a young faculty member after I finished my PhD before going home to Indonesia, we should use active voice rather than passive voice. So pay attention on your writing and try to put it into active voice. Uh, so C number 3, connect. Apply the principle of consistent subject. Do not shift the subject like this. Memoirs, memoirs are becoming increasingly popular. Readers all over the continent are finding them appealing. So this is memoir, so memoir, and memoirs is plural. And when you say that, you probably will say that memoir are becoming increasingly popular. They appeal to readers all over the continent. So sometimes we don't really pay attention on this principle. Then when we sometimes when we say like memoir, we can put reader or sometimes we put it here. But memoirs here is plural, so we use they here. Make logical connection with transitional words and expression followed by comma like this, adding an insight, incidentally, comma, besides, comma, um, and also something like contrasting idea within the a paragraph, like however, start with however, you say like, um, people say that Wamena, many people say that Wamena is a danger place. Titik. Dot. However, my experience being in Wamena yesterday proved that Wamena is beautiful place. It's a it's a beautiful place. It is um, it's the city itself is peaceful. So, however, like it's contrasting. You can also use nevertheless. Can use in contrast and extra. Adding an idea like also our discussion today is important for future scholars. You can say the comma, but also, uh, but but also very fundamental for today academic work. So adding something. As you can say in addition, you can say further, you can say also furthermore, or moreover, and so on and so forth. And also result. Accordingly, therefore, those hands is also part of them. Sometimes you can say like in a nutshell as well. You can indicate that when you write, you indicate that this is the result that you are going to express and affirming. In fact, obviously, indeed, giving example, for instance. So this is like kind of connection between one sentence and another sentence, and connection between one of your ideas or your data with other your affirmation or your conclusion, or you want to add some other idea on that. And then various ways to connect or combine ideas, avoiding series of short, choppy sentence, um, logical connection like this. The flight was long and cramped, like especially like flight from Semarang, Jakarta to Ambon, then Ambon to Sorong, Sorong to Jayapura, Jayapura to Wamena, Wamena to Jayapura, and tomorrow to Biak, and Biak to Semarang. Oh, it's very long. The flight was long and cramped. The the varied entertainment made it bearable. Rather than say that, you will say that although the flight was long and cramped, the varied entertainment program took our took out minds of our numb select subordination here. Or you can say that the flight was long and cramped, but varied entertainment program took our minds of numb select. This is also part of coordination. So connect your sentence rather than put it into two different sentences, like the flight was long and cramped, the varied entertainment made it bearable. You can put it into one sentence, but then put connection like this, although or but here. It is to help you express your idea in a clear way for your reader to follow. And for C, commit to confident sentence when arguing on something, when build up your argument, when you build up your sentence itself, especially in academic level, when you write um, article, when you write book chapter, you have to avoid word like maybe, perhaps, might, it could be, and etc. unless you are proposing new concept or hypothesis. So say that like this, like as a result of my blah 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 blah, or you can also start with consequently, or of course, of need or demand or result, and etc. But this is help your reader to see that you're confident when you say something. You're confident with that. So this is confidential, like confident. When you say something, it is very important. You give the symbols, the sign to your reader that when you say this, you are really sure about this. This is sentence or this is paragraph there. You are built up from your research, from your data, from your fixed argument on something. So you have to avoid maybe, perhaps, and so on and so on. Your reader, especially when you write for book chapter articles or book publication in English, your reader will sense that you're not really confident again. Your idea is not really fixed. Then people won't buy your idea. So you have to be consistent with that. So commit to consistent tune. This is very important. Avoid sarcasms, gender bias. This is very important when you write something. You don't say that. You don't use he or even she, but make it in neutral. Like sometimes when we say something like scholar who believe in the effectiveness of COVID-19 vaccines, um develop strong argument on on the transition from pandemic to endemic. Yeah. Then keep saying that the scholar, rather than say that he or she, we don't really know that the scholar is she or he. Then sometimes I found it in some writing that then we pick he because we thought that that's he, or we pick she rather than pick he or she, go with scholar, go with something neutral. Then fifth, the fifth C, the final C. Choose your word carefully. Choose vivid and specific word. Avoid like slang, plains. Like you, sometimes people say that it is your writing is crystal clear. We don't use that in academic English. We can just say that your writing is clear. Your writing is sure. Then rather than say that your writing is crystal clear. Or people sometimes they say that um, the argument hit the nail on the head. We don't say that, but we can just rather than say that the argument hit the nail on the head, we say that the argument focus, or the argument is appealing, or argument is strong, or propose strong argument, rather than say that he hit the nail on the head, and etc. Like this. Sometimes you put it like this: um, the boy in the sorry, I forgot something. One word. The boy in the honest story did many things, often regards as police officer job. But when we say things right here, it's not really clear what things. Then we can just use this sentence. The boy in the honest story protected people, helped pedestrian, and clear the pathway. Those things that probably it seems like police officer jobs, rather than say that things like the boy in the honest story did many things, often regarded regards as police officer jobs. Things is unclear. But sometimes in Indonesian context, we use that a lot. Like say we put this is oral language. When we say something orally, we can use things. But when we put it into writing, we have to make it clear. Again, why we have to make it clear? So people can follow our argument. People can follow our code if we put it clearly. Be caution with slang and jargon. This is very important. Sometimes because we use guy a lot here. Sometimes we say that the jury returned the verdict that guy was not guilty. But it is not really formal language. This is informal language, the guy itself. So the jury returned the verdict that defendant was not guilty. Also avoid dangers or bias and exclusionary language. Like sometimes you say chairman, but the like the leader is not only man, it can be also chairwoman. But rather than say chairman or chairwoman, we just say chairperson. It's also like policeman. Sometimes we call it policeman, but or policewoman. But rather than say policeman or policewoman, we put it as police officer. So when you write something in academic context, you have to pay attention on this. Keep your sentence positive. What I mean by positive in this part is avoid the bias word. So you have to pick your word very carefully. So I will go to paragraph. In Indonesia konteks, dalam konteks Indonesia, ini sering jadi persoalan. Karena kalau di dalam bahasa Indonesia itu kita sering diajarkan in Indonesian context, we learn that the main idea of a paragraph could be here, sometimes it could be in the middle, or it could be in the last paragraph. So it's also when we put our idea into writing, sometimes this kind of Indonesian Indonesian paragraph idea, it influence our mind, our way of putting the paragraph. Then we have to change it right now. I myself, when I start write my or when I went to University of Pennsylvania for Fulbright pre-academic program. So before we went to our host school, we have to go through pre-academic program. It depends on your English. If your English is very good, you only go for 3 days. And myself, because I was still struggling with my English at the time. Now I'm still struggling too, but not like before. And I have to go for 3 weeks English intensive program at University of Pennsylvania. This is considered one of the biggest or the Ivy League university in US, and it's a good university. So during the intensive program, I just learned that the paragraphs will be like this. Before that, I didn't really know. Again, I told you before when I started that I'm not from English department. I learned my English myself. Like I took English courses and sometimes read books like this, like uh, a writer's reference or like keep pocket for writers like this. And then it helped me or be familiar with academic writing, read books, and it will influence your way of expressing your sentence or paragraph because you read the academic piece. So I will say that in English we go like this: put your main idea, your key sentence in the first sentence of your paragraph. Start that. Say something that you think this is the key, and support that with your supporting sentence. This is could be supporting sentence one, supporting sentence two, and supporting sentence and means that you can have more than three supporting sentences. Then the last part of your paragraph is your conclusion, your concluding sentence here. So this is opening, this is your, and this is the main idea. This is supporting sentence one, two, three, and so on and so forth, and end. And then this is your conclusion. This is your conclusive paragraph. Then in your conclusive paragraph, you have keywords that will link you to another paragraph. So your keywords in this conclusive paragraph will stand in will stand in your opening paragraph or next paragraph. So then it will create like chain, get coherence from one of your paragraph to another paragraph. So we go like this. So this is from my publication on appear on annual review of sociology of religion. So this is this is the key sentence that I put, then I try to have like conclusive. Then this is the and I support it, and this is the conclusive one. So okay. So what make paragraph words? So in my experience, I'll say that you have to make sure that you have only one point in one paragraph. So put your point here, and then you support that with many supporting sentence and conclusive paragraph. So focus on one point, unified, even though it is a bunch sentences, but it is unified. It is focused on one point. Second, it is tightly organized, following a clear pattern, coherence that I said before. So it is coherence from your main idea, your supporting sentences, then your conclusive paragraph. Itu yang penting karena yang saya bilang tadi, ini masalah kita di Indonesia itu karena kita sering diajarkan tadi para kalimat utama paragraf itu, ide utama paragraf itu bisa ada di awal, bisa ada di tengah, bisa ada di akhir. Akhirnya ketika kita menulis dalam bahasa Inggris, kita sering seperti itu. Padahal dalam tulisan berbahasa Inggris, terutama yang saya pelajari di Amerika Serikat, itu kalimat utamanya harus di atas. Nanti kemudian didukung. This is actually following our Indonesian way of expressing something. Sometimes when we express something, we don't go direct to the point. But in Indonesia, we call it putar-putar, then go to the point. In English, especially in the United States of America, in academia, you will say what you want. Then you build argument why you want it. Rather than putar-putar first, then say what you want. No. In English, in academic English, in American academia, you say that, then build up argument why you say that. This one, anchor your paragraph with a topic sentence, the main point I mentioned before. This is your topic sentence is very important, and I say again that it should be, in my experience, it should be in the first sentence. Somebody can help something else, but this is what I learned so far, then what I experienced. I get my dissertation done and published many journal articles, published book chapters. Now in the process of publishing my own book with Penn State University Press. It's like that. Like it is in the first sentence of paragraph. build it by asking or answering question. You can do that. You can start your paragraph with question. Then you can answer that in following sentence, like supporting answer I say before. Then it's like how you answer that. Or then also very important to think that you use internal transition to unify your paragraph, like say, however, therefore, nevertheless, and so on and so forth. So it is like one unified uh, body of writing. So this is how the transition word, like I also mentioned before, when I share about how I write a sentence, it's also important that put transition word to make your sentence unified. Um, and also unite paragraph by using parallelism. Parallelism. So like put it in parallel, like in a sentence as well. Like I will say that when when uh, I went to Wamena, I saw I saw perfection of uh, perfection of beautiful. So perfection here is a noun. Perfection of beautiful mountains and reflection. So perfection and reflection of peaceful city in Wamena. I said about Wamena. I don't say about Tolikara. I don't say about Pegunungan Bintang. I said about Wamena. So I would say that when I went to Wamena and I saw perfection of beautiful mountains and reflection of beautiful reflection of peaceful community, a peaceful city. So reflection, perfection, and reflection, or things like that. And make it, if you use noun, and use noun on that. Don't make it something else. So this is called parallelism. Jadi dia sama begitu. Jadi kalau tadi saya pakai semacam kesempurnaan pegunungan dan keramahan penduduk kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia. Jadi itu seperti paralelism. Jadi dua-dua menggunakan noun atau menggunakan kata benda di situ. Okay, so what common patterns can you use in paragraphs? You can use cause and effect. You can start with definition, like you put your own definition and then you support it. Comparison and contrast. People say this, but I say this. I saw this, like in Wamena, people say that Wamena is danger place, but but I found out beautiful mountains and peaceful community, like that. You can also use analogy for that. When you write something, many people use that. Classification as well of something when you write. You can start with that. Narration and or process, uh, like how we narrate the beauty of Jaya Wijaya Mountain in the area of Wamena is very important. Then how when I narrate that, when I say that, when I put that in order, why it's a beautiful place, then it is narration or process. Or also illustration of how I saw um, warm people in Wamena, um, even though he only used koteka, but he can say something very softly, nicely, and and warmly. So we can use illustration as well. So again, don't put your idea into long paragraph. In Germany, I believe I know that I when I was in Germany and Austria for teaching a class in there, people tend to use like long paragraphs. Sometimes they can use like one page, one paragraph. But in United States of America, when you write in English, you don't do that. So we like not really short, but not really long in between. And if you have like really long paragraph, you might put that into two paragraphs. But again, remember that one paragraph have one main point. Reconsider short paragraphs like that. Not really short, not really long. It's in the middle, not like Germany paragraph that's really long. That is not also really short. Uh, at least in paragraph you have three sentences. You have your topic sentence or your main sentence. You have your one supporting sentence and your conclusive sentence. At least that. But in my case, I sometimes I put it into three, two or three paragraph, two or three supporting sentences. So make it like one paragraph, five or six sentences. This is again, I share my experience. Adapt paragraph length to write to your writing situation. So if you have long paragraph, why it's long? And then again, if it is too long, then you have to break it into two paragraph. In my case, I don't make it too long, so people will follow my ideas and focus on one paragraph, only one sentence. Again, I'll say that this is my experience. Somebody else might have their own, but this is what I do. So you can open your paragraph with this. You can use narrative in the first paragraph. You can begin with a description that establishes tones and for case. You can do that. Then when people read your first sentence, they can think of the follow up. Begin with a question or series of questions that relate to your topic. I do that sometimes. I think last time for for Routledge International Handbook of Christianity and Sociology, I wrote that how people in rural and urban area, they have uh, they have conducted online worship during COVID-19 pandemic. You can start with this question as well. Start with off with a direct statement or key issues. You can use that in my some of my writing. I also use that the direct statement, and then you use another sentences to support your statement. So this is the conclusion. Make a recommendation when when one is appropriate. Summarize the main point you have made in the paragraph when you start with opening idea or statement, question, and so on and so forth. But then you have your key, you have your supporting sentences. Remember that summarize that and make it your conclusion, your conclusive sentence in a paragraph. And as I mentioned before, that in the uh, the sentence, the conclusive sentences, you have key points, the key words that will also appear in the opening sentence of the next paragraph. So it will tie it up. Will chain your paragraph. It's make it coherent. Link the at the end and the beginning. This is what I said. That link the end, the last sentence of one paragraph with the first sentence of another paragraph. So it's close. It's links to each other. And remember, stop when you're finished. So you feel it. Sometimes I will say that according to my experience, writing is actually art. Sometimes that you feel, sometimes that you enjoy. So this is my experience, but somebody else may say that, oh, I put like seven, eight sentences into one paragraph. Enjoy that, at least. But the main point, not at least, but the main point is you have your key sentence, you have your supporting paragraph, you have your conclusive paragraph that link one paragraph to another paragraph. That's the more important. So this is things that you probably need to also think. I probably need to like summarize what I'm talking today. So again, check when you write. Do you check it again? Check your sentences if it is connect to another sentences or it's disconnect, and also see if you need subordinates ideas in the paragraph or in your to link one sentence to another. Check the sentence opening, or it is or there are. This is like what I said, like a point this. So start with subject, start with the focal point. See if times or sequence marker are needed. This is very important, especially when you write something about the history of Indonesian politics, for instance. So you have to mention time. You think about sequence, the historical sequence uh, in your writing. So check for connecting words here. Um, so again, to tie it up your paragraph, it's unified. This is you need to express the coherence in your idea. So close gaps between paragraphs means like tie it up again, link the end with the beginning. Again, this is very important. Otherwise, when people read our paragraph, like they miss something because it's not really tied up. So again, saya mau bilang bahwa sekali lagi di dalam kalimat terakhir dari satu paragraf itu ada kata-kata kunci yang akan kita pakai pada kalimat pertama di paragraf berikutnya dan akan seterusnya. Kalau itu terjadi, maka paragraf kita itu akan seperti rantai, dia akan terikat dan pembaca kita akan bisa mengikuti pikiran kita dengan lebih baik. So, saya sudah jelaskan ini tadi. Jangan lupa transisi sekali lagi. Key idea repeat, tapi misalnya kayak tadi the memoirs itu jadi day dan lain-lain, itu supaya ada repeat, tapi repeatnya itu bisa di-express, we can express that nicely. Lalu kemudian demonstrative pronouns like that, relative pronouns like that, parallelisms, semicolon, colon, like I said before. Pay attention on that. This is small things, but you have to pay attention on that. Books like this, you probably can just Google it. Sometimes you have that for free. It can help you to check your sentence. As I mentioned before, that last week, that during my first semester in my PhD program, I was really stressed out because my professors said that I have to insist that I have to go to um, local community college to study academic writing. But then I pushed myself, I studied myself, I read that, I try to revise again. So edit, and edit is also key. Um, Edit until you feel that this is good sentence, then you can just send it out. I found out that during my first semester, why it is not really working well for my writing, because I'm not really editing. If I sit down and edit it carefully, it could be it could be strong uh, papers. But I didn't really pay attention on editing. So edit, edit, edit. When I think I was in my third year in Berkeley. Then UC Berkeley have program for international students named get published in international journal. And here, my uh, the facilitator again emphasized of how editing is important. Edit until you feel that you can get the point. You when you read that your sentence is smooth, your paragraph it's tied up, it's unified paragraph, then you can send it out to editors or somebody can that read it. So again, I will say that choose appropriate language. Pay attention if you write academic language, you have to go formal. Use the notation in research paper, case studies, report. Be alert of connotative language. Appreciate dialogue. Use it when appropriate. Like I use wa 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 to help you understand that Indonesia is a beautiful country with um, many cultures and languages. Choose familiar, inclusive language. This is very important because in academia, sometimes we use like colloquial or university language. But then when I start write my paper on Jakarta Post, for instance, it is something uh, that we have to express the idea that everybody can read. Uh, Express your idea in inclusive, familiar, inclusive language that everybody can read. And also control bias in your language. Don't use bias, including gender bias language in your writing. So I believe you focus on this. You might have your idea expressed in good writing, but good writing actually comes from practice, practice, and practice. So the better or the better you practice, the better you get the result. And you have to practice it, try to write it yourself, work with your peers, and then help each other to see your sentences or your paragraph or the whole body of your articles. Um, work with your friends, work with your teacher, work with your uh, colleagues, can help you to develop your writing skill. So thank you so much. I close it with So Salamate. So Salamate is expression from Seram Island. So remember last time I come back from Seram Island, I went to Wamena, come back to Jayapura. So Salamate means like blessing for all of us and also hoping that we all have good luck and good life. So Salamate. Thank you. Yeah, we will open for discussion. Uh, we so if you have some question, please. I have some question here. I will start with. Okay. Okay, Ningsi Lumban Teruan. Hi, Ningsi. Uh, in your experience writing essay, which one is better? Why write it in Bahasa Indonesia and translate it into English, or write it directly in English? So Ningsi, thank you so much. This is very important question. In my experience, I I write it in English, so I don't use Indonesia. I write it directly in English. Then sit down again, edit it again. So I make some. Um, so I print it out like this, Ningsi. So this is this is uh, this is things that this is my article that I print out. So sometimes I they then make note on that. So this is the sentence and the sentence. It's probably not really connected. This paragraph is not really tied up with the with above paragraph or another the next paragraph. So I have to make some editing. But in my experience, I write it directly in English. Somebody might write it in Indonesia first, but I do it in English. Also, I start with things like this. This is part of my chapter in my coming book from my dissertation. So make point, and point could be in Bahasa Indonesia, but when I write it in English. So thank you, Ningsi. Thank you so much. Um, Melinda, how to improve our vocabulary to write better academic writing? Sometimes I mix use of formal and informal words. Melinda, thank you so much. This is also another important question. So it really depend on your audience. So when we write, we have the concept of implied audience. So who is our audience? So if our audience is academic audience, and we probably take formal academic English. If our audience is not really um, from academic or from academia, and you probably can insert some informal English, but only a little part when it comes to academic English again. So and how to improve that? When I study English, I use the card system like this. In front, I put a word, a new word that I want to memorize, and um, also if it's noun, it is changed into adjective or adverb. It's changed like what? So I put that the changing also the word changing also in the in the card, and also the meaning of the sentence right here, the word behind the card. So this is the this is another part, and this is in this part I will write the example of the word in the sentence. So I put it in the sentence because I believe that if I if you tell me, I will forget. But if you involve me, and I will remember. So this is the place when we involve in and put the word into sentence, into our own sentence. So I brought this kind of card everywhere, even though I'm when I was studying, especially during my undergrad program, I use that a lot. Even though I play soccer, I will put that, keep look at that while waiting for my friends to play soccer or meeting in student body or anything. So I will bring that everywhere every day. So I will remember one word every day. So this is the way I build it up. But also when I study academic English seriously, I have to, in America, in United States of America, we have to study GRE English. GRE is like the word that we use a lot in academia. So study that. Musa, in terms of academic writing, how would we sense if the word we use are delivered effectively. Um, in your opinion, it is better to use complicated or even sophisticated words, maybe slang or as well. So Musa, your English is very good. Your academic writing is great here. Slang, I when it comes to academic English, I won't suggest that. Don't use slang. Just use um, normal um, sentence that everybody can understand. Like I said, that don't put that in your sentence like crystal clear or Jimmy coming lately. Rather than say Jimmy coming lately, you say that the final person like that. So make it like make it easy for your reader to follow. Okay. I hope you don't asking more question why it's okay. Okay, thank you, Musa. Thank you so much. So Mario, thank you for. I have several questions. Can the CUTS method be applied in formal academic English? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. uh, Mario, you can use that in formal academic English in journal or thesis. Pay attention on that. Really, really pay attention on that. Cut unnecessary word. Use effective sentence like that. Uh, like just choppy sentence. Uh, yeah. This is something that we have to get rid in our academic English. Use that as as the way you edit your own writing. Like I said before, that edit, edit, edit. So use the method myself. I use my method myself to strengthen my sentence, but also to check my paragraph. Um, like writing like final articles like this, it could be like 5 times checking and editing before I send it to any editor. So the strategy, the cut strategy, can help you to strengthen your own academic writing. In your opinion, it is the writing style of diplomatic note, report of the declaration is some. Yeah, wow, Grace, thank you so much, Grace. This is very important question, Grace. In diplomatic note, wow, wow. I'm not from international relation, but I will say that use formal English, like use academic English. Yeah, this is academic. This is formal. So you're probably gonna go using formal English for that. Especially in the context of international relation that you want other people to follow your idea, you put it in academic English so everybody can understand. Grace, thank you so much. That's very important question. Kiang, thank you so much for taking time. I have question. What is your opinion on the maximum? Yeah. Thank you, Kiara. This is very important. I will say that one sentence, one effective sentence, it is could be 10 to, I will say like 10 to 20 words. So put it 10 to 20 words to make an effective but strong academic English. This is, again, my experience. Um, we still have another many question, but unfortunately, we don't really have time to do that. So probably if you can send me email directly, friends, or if you're allowed by at America, send me question through my email, then we can discuss some of your question here. Like Dosma, your question is very good, Anton as well, but I don't have time to do that. I thank you so much for your question. Thank you so much for your participation here, and especially at America. Thank you for having me in this writing workshop. Thank you again. Or we still have time? Do we still have time for that? If you still have time, I would like to answer. So, Hasna, do you have time or not?
Thank you so much.
Okay. 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 Thank you.
Thank you so much to Pak Iza for today's informative session and comprehensive explanation. So earlier in this event, we asked the audience a question, and the question was, true or false, academic writing must be complex and requires the use of long sentences and complicated vocabulary. And the correct answer to that is false. Academic writing has a formal tone and style, but it's not complex and doesn't require the use of long sentences and complicated vocabulary. Shout out to today's lucky one at Mario PACL from Instagram for answering correctly. Thank you so much to everyone who has participated in our question of the day. Don't forget to tune in next time and catch a chance to get a live shout out from us. And now, do you want to develop more brilliant ideas with a platform like this? It's easy as ABC. You can simply go to our website at www.atamerica.or.id, select create an event, and go to collaborate with us. All given proposals will be reviewed and your event might be featured here soon. You can also subscribe to our newsletter if you find yourself enjoying this event so you can stay updated with our upcoming event as well. Follow us on our social media. We are on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at ATAmerica for interesting content, giveaways, and so much more. Also, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. With that, it is time to say farewell. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Hasna. See you on the next ATAmerica event. Bye-bye, everybody.